Can't do any of these right now. Profile Scratch. Ooh.
Scratch was pretending to be Wake. Manipulating me. What does he want from me? No. I'm in control here.
Oh, he's in her head.
It's my mind place. He's powerful. Too powerful. Just his presence here makes me feel sick. Like a wave of terror through my head. I feel his single-minded drive to get the clicker.
Okie dokie. Alright, examine the files in the locked cell. The locked cell. Wait, what? Wait, we let this guy out of the cell? He was a cult leader. He has so many kills under it. Why did we let...
I'm sorry
How
about
did I
your
draw my
brother,
gun?
Elmo.
Yaku was all heart. He always went along with my ideas, no matter how stupid they were. Always happy to help. I got carried away. I never think things through. It's my fault.
I realize it's a bad time. But I need you to tell me everything about the cult of the tree.
The cult is my craziest idea that ever worked. Look, what kind of a cult calls themselves a cult? Exactly. We protect Water in Bright Falls. We're the good guys. A secret neighborhood watch. Well, that was the idea anyways. Look, we've always known about the horror inside the lake. When any Taken come out, we kill them.
You don't turn people into Taken. You kill the ones who already have. How long has the cult been around for?
Certain folks around here have always known about Cauldron Lake. Before us, it was the Torchbearers. And when I inherited the mission, I wanted to call it a cult. It was genius. Just a name did half the work. Made people too scared to go into the woods at night. Business 101. Fear is a great motivator.
That's the exact reason we gotta stop calling hurricanes things like Katrina. You tell someone to evacuate Florida because like Megatron's on the way, maybe they'll move. You tell them that Sally's coming, they're just gonna sit there and then you have to evacuate them later and it costs like $20,000 for helicopter fuel.
You were trying to kill Alan Wake. Why?
Nothing good has ever come out of Cauldron Lake. The nightmare that hit Bright Falls in 2010 was all because of his writing. And ever since then, pages of his stories are floating up from the lake, and monsters keep popping out. It's all him, Wake. And if we don't stop him, no one will.
Wake's evil doppelganger Scratch is the threat we're facing, not Wake. And I will stop him.
I've never heard of anyone called Scratch.
All right, so we just got some new, something new in here.
Ilmo said the cult kills Taken. Is he telling the truth?
Surplus deer masks buy in bulk. We've got a floater, a Taken on the shore. Call the gang Yaku. We are going hunting. Cult of the Tree. Keeping the town safe since 2013.
Ilmo is telling the truth about the cult. They really were fighting the Taken. We're on the same side. If the cult is killing Taken, then why did Nightingale turn into one?
Private party. Invitation only. Wrong time. Wrong place.
Because the people interrupted them.
Time to go, Yaku. A job half done isn't done at all.
Nightingale became a Taken because the Bookers interrupted their ritual.
So we were thinking for the, like, a bunch of the game that their ritual is what turned the guy into a monster. But they were doing a ritual to stop the guy from turning into a monster and it got interrupted.
I assumed Wake escaped the dark place. Is it possible he's still there?
The Big Apple in an ocean of darkness. Gone diving. Note from my editor. You're using the wrong tense. Trapped in a loop. My friends will meet him when I'm gone.
Wake is still trapped in the dark place. Maybe he always was. I'm gonna deal with the situation, Ilmo. But the town will need protection until we sort this out. I could use your help.
Right. Right. I'll round up the gang. Whoever's left. We won't let these fucking monsters hurt any more of our people. We'll do my brother proud.
Thank you, Ilmo.
Okay. I'm kind of bummed out that one cutscene where Yako got killed by Scratch was like the audio was all out of sync and it was really distracting because it looked awesome. When he like blurred through the bars and like into the other guy's clothes and then the other guy just got blasted out of him.
That's funny. The cases that might kill me were my ex's favorite.
Okay. Would like to get to a mop bucket to swap to Alan's story, but I haven't seen one in a while. Alright, what's my goal right now? Examine the files in the locked cell. That's right, I got interrupted when I saw Ilmo. Prison cell key. Alright. Transcript of interview with subject Alan Wake, a suspected para-utilitarian. Mr. Wake, you've been taken into the FBC custody and will receive an in-depth interrogation at a later date, but for now I need to ask if there's anything you can tell us regarding the incident at the hotel, anything we may need to know. AW, there's a force here you don't understand. A presence, it's after me, it wants to consume me and consume everything. KE, yes, you mentioned this dark presence before. Why does it want you? AW, it feeds on artists, on the art they create. It wants me because of my writing, but it can be any form of art, any artistic expression, music, painting, film, photography. It can feed on any of it, all of it. You have to believe me. KE, we are well aware of this entity, Mr. Wake. We've been tracking the situation here for a long time now. You yourself have been on our radar for over a decade. I'm sure those nuts in the research department are just going to love checking you out. Hey, make a note to redact that before submission. Let's get back on track. You mentioned a light switch earlier. Where is it now? I don't know, but I need it. I can't end this without it. Will you help me get it? Mr. Wake, you are in custody, pending charges for breaching of numerous federal violation codes. We're not going to give you a suspected paranatural object. AW, you're not bleeping listening to me. We are listening just fine. Now, do you have any accomplices? Bleep you. Let me the bleep out of here. It's coming for me. We're all in danger. Interview is terminated due to suspect being uncooperative.
Wake isn't the first person the dark presence disguised itself as.
Through extensive interviews with witnesses of AWE-35, additional details regarding the Shadow, A-10, have been discovered. Redacted and redacted, both present during the AWE, report seeing a woman named Barbara Jagger in Bright Falls at the time. Jagger is a former actress of Bright Falls resident who immigrated with the filmmaker Thomas Zane from Finland and was reported to have drowned in Cauldron Lake during a redacted AWE in 1970. This was brought up in Alan Wake 1. Research staff have concluded that Jagger's appearance is likely a case of the Shadow manifesting in human form. Research is ongoing as to the nature of the connection between the Shadow and the psychophysical signature is available for it to mimic. Current hypotheses are: A, the Shadow can only manifest as artists or individuals tangentially involved in the creation of art who have operated within a certain physical range of Cauldron Lake. B, the Shadow can manifest as any individual contained, definition needed, within Cauldron Lake. Research is still actively ongoing. See file 3845-31873 for full report.
The lake is a gateway to the dark place.
We knew that. Deployment order, urgent, situation. At approximately 1900 hours, September 13th, 2023. Wow, that was not that long ago, chat. Readings from remote surveillance unit monitoring Cauldron Lake, unknown threshold to what researchers theorize is the origin dimension of A040, the Shadow, past acceptable limits. Attempts to contact FBC Research Facility WA03, code name the Lake House, were unsuccessful. On-site event verification, not possible. Response procedures are initiated with immediate effect. Lead agent K. Estevez will mobilize investigation unit Beta from the remote operation site at Redacted. All available Shadow-specific equipment, Lot 411B, has been approved for use in the field. Objectives. Confirm an active event. If an active AWE is occurring, the dispatch team will identify its nature and severity, limit exposure, and attempt to contain or neutralize the source. If no event is active, check monitoring equipment, perform a limited profile sweep of the area, and check status of the lake house and its staff. Additional info. Relevant operatives in the area include the Cult of the Tree, Redacted, and Alan Wake, currently missing. Redacted. I wonder if that's Thomas Zane? Probably not, because they mentioned Thomas Zane earlier.
What the hell is a para-utilitarian?
Summary of findings. Description: para-utility. Based on reports, the item is a light switch from a lamp cord, with part of the severed cord still attached. Eyewitness accounts suggest that the item possesses the ability to alter reality, the changes being based on Redacted, when used by a capable para-utilitarian. Parsing this item's effect with that of Cauldron Lake's threshold, responsible for recurring AWEs in the area, is difficult because the only reported uses of the item have occurred near this threshold. Without more data, we cannot confirm if the item intensifies the effect of the threshold or vice versa, or if there is no connection whatsoever. Recorded material from Dr. Hartman after becoming a Redacted have revealed that Alan Wake eliminated Barbara Jagger, likely the physical manifestation of a Redacted, by inserting the light switch into its chest and flicking the switch. The item is confirmed to have been used in 2010 to turn fictional writing into reality. See file AWE 35. However, it is unclear what the restrictions and limitations of this effect are. Conclusion. The light switch is a possible that's object of power, but the team cannot conclusively classify the item based on second-hand accounts. Proper examination and testing is required in order to determine classification and precise effect of the item. FBC file on the clicker and paranatural qualities.
The clicker amplifies any changes to reality suggested by a piece of art. Makes them permanent.
Dark Presence assumed the form of Barbara Jagger.
Doesn't make sense. I need to know what information I can still trust.
FBC file on capabilities of light switch object the clicker. Wake is trapped in the dark place.
Wake is trapped in the dark place. He's been reaching out, communicating with me in the overlaps.
How to rescue Wake. FBC file on Cauldron Lake threshold. Nightingale was already taken. Cult's ritual would have stopped him, but was interrupted. Cult ritual failed to destroy Nightingale because the Bookers interrupted it. Ilmo, the cult found Wake's pages inside Taken and believed he was the cause. Cult thinks Wake is responsible for Taken and believe killing him will stop this. Ilmo has never heard of Scratch.
Right.
Cult wasn't working for or with Wake or Scratch, operating on their own. Ilmo, the Cult of the Tree, targeted people already corrupted by the Dark Presence. Their goal was to protect the community. Deduction available. Ritual was meant to destroy Taken, not create them. Okay. Profiling. Who? Tor? Now, Tor can talk in our head when we profile him.
Wake told me the clicker would fix this. But Wake was actually Scratch. How can I trust anything he said?
The artist must conclude his work. He rides a storm on your piece. Wake up and smell the danger. We told you already, kiddo. What Tom said about the light switch is true. Don't let the story confuse you. You need him to write the ending you want. The clicker can make that ending come true.
But we don't have Wake. Everything we knew about the clicker was true. He wasn't lying.
Okay. Ask Estevez about the clicker.
Scratch told me the clicker can be used to change the story. Does that match your understanding of this thing?
Yeah, the light switch is a paranatural item, maybe even an object of power. We have verified reports that Alan Wake was in possession of it during the AWE here back in 2010. Definitely has power. We know that much.
I can come up with a plan. I always do.
Come up with a new plan.
So the Cult of the Tree actually kills Taken. They were on our side, even if their methods are misguided and criminal.
It looked right from where we were standing. Nothing's what it seems in this case. Too many stories contradicting each other. Too many versions of the truth.
We have a lot of catching up to do after this thing is all over. Everything is different now. My family, me, the whole fucking world.
I'll buy the coffee, Anderson. Partners to the end. This case is one for the books.
I see what you did there.
If he's got darkness infesting him, if we could put him in those like bright lights outside, I wonder if it would help. Come up with a new plan. That's pretty vague. Estevez, the FBC identified the clicker as a paranatural item. They believe it has power.
The clicker can fix this. But I can't use it without Wake. Tor knows about this stuff. Maybe he can help.
Profile again to Tor.
Wake is still in the dark place. How do I get him out?
We live and breathe rock and roll. From the silence of screams, from the fever of dreams. The clicker can amp up other works of art, not just Tom's writing.
Are they gonna do rock?
Anything created with passion. The dark power of the lake will make it creep into reality. But if the holder of the clicker believes in the art, they can make it all come true in the flick of a switch.
I can use the clicker without Wake. Only Wake's writing can change the horror story. But I can use the clicker to change something else. Like getting Wake out of the dark place.
Oh, that's clever. Maybe have the old gods of Asgard write a song about Wake bursting out of the lake in a blaze of glory. And then she just clicks it. The clicker can be used by anyone so long as the holder believes in the power of the art's message.
I will use the clicker to change reality and bring Wake back at Cauldron Lake. I'll need the right work of art, but that won't be a problem.
That won't be a problem.
I've got it now. I just need to tell the others what to do and fix everything. For good. So we need Wake to fix the story, right? That hasn't changed. So here's what I have. Wake's still trapped in the dark place, under the lake. I think we can use the clicker to get him out. But first, we need a work of art. Something other than his story. And that'll get him here.
I'm not filling out the paperwork for this one. Wouldn't know where to start. But I'm sold.
Okay. Look, this feels like something that once we get the ball rolling, there's no turning back. You sure you have it all figured out?
This is the beginning of the end game. To travel to Cauldron Lake, you need to save your game first. Exploring and traveling to other areas will be limited if you choose to continue. I still need to do Wake's part of the story.
Not just yet. Give me a moment.
Okay, Anderson. You let me know when you're ready.
Where is a freaking mop bucket to play Alan's part?
I'm so sorry.
Who are all these
Anybody
creeps?
seen what our emotion was about?
Who knows? If it's not one thing, it's the other.
I think they've got the Koskela brothers.
Where am I? Over over here? Okay, there's a janitor's bucket at that lodge. So I'm worried if I go into the endgame without doing all of the...
Merceda won't roll over on the issues.
Without doing all of both sides, that I won't see the whole thing. What's in the container on the docks? Not sure.
It's empty. There's nothing there.
I think you may be right.
Okay, to my right. There we go. Snap back to reality. Oh, there goes Saga. Oh no, Chip's going down the toilet. No! Okay. This is where we left off with Alan last time. Oh, I thought his shoebox was the same as hers. It's different? Well, shoot. Okay. Alright, quick save. What was his goal? Get to Parliament Tower. Alright, so he is still in the dark place. Parliament Tower. Is that Parliament Tower? No, I think that's Parliament Tower. Confirmation. Buttons. Any button.
Go to hell!
Okay. I can't draw my weapon, so I guess this is a safe spot other than it being spooky.
Alice had turned the bathroom into a dark room.
No... wasn't it? No such things... No such thing as too personal. The photos are me. Just need to show something. Make sure you see beneath the surface. Okay. So at the end of the first game, he managed to get Alice out of the lake, but he was trapped in the lake. But I don't know if this is what Alice has been going through in reality, or if this is just how he might imagine. Is that the freaking hotel?
I needed to get inside the manuscript.
That swirl, that's from Control. That's creepy. Let's go from oldest to newest. Greetings from Hollywood. Hey Alice, I'm more of a fish out of water in Hollywood than I ever was in the Pacific Northwest wilderness. These yuppies with their glow-in-the-dark teeth couldn't be more fake if they had 6 fingers. And everything is so effing great all the time, even when it's in fact the opposite. More than once, I've thrown up in my mouth during meetings with these movie exec jerks. But I gotta be here to look for Al's legacy. Everyone wants to gobble up the film's rights for the Casey books, and they have moronic ideas of what to do with them. It's my duty to herd this horde of tanned zombies into the general direction of something resembling good taste. I'm painfully aware how deeply Al would have hated adaptations if they didn't do justice to his vision. He was a master of hating things deeply. For good reasons, I mean. That's why we loved him so much, right? Anyway, gotta hop on another video call now to talk about casting your pal Barry. Joined a cult! Barry Wheeler. Hey Alice, you're gonna think I've been replaced by an evil devil, but I have joined a cult and I love it. Joking about it being a cult, kind of, blessed wellness retreat. Working with Al or the Andersons was tough sometimes, but these movie biz types are insane. My stress levels are through the roof, but then I was tipped off about the retreat. The best decision I've ever made. I have never felt this good and, well, healthy. The guy who runs this place, Chester, is a goddamn miracle worker. Not a wacko in any way. I know you think I'm full of shit, but I have lost a ton of weight and you wouldn't even recognize me. Chester says I'm lucky to have ended up here, that something bad would have happened to me if I'd stayed in New York. I believe him. I wasn't feeling great after everything that happened, especially after those FBC creepos wanted to chat with me, enough to turn anyone into a conspiracy nut. I hope you're good over there. Come visit anytime. West Coast is not as bad as I made it sound in my earlier mails. Your pal Barry. Checking in. Hey Alice, checking in because I haven't heard from you. Everything good back there? I've been trapped in non-stop meetings with no breaks, open kimono. I have considered peeing in a mug, and lunches be damned. How these people ever get a movie made when all they do is sit in meetings is beyond me. Peeing in a mug? Your pal Barry. I'll handle it. Hey Alice, sharks circling. They now want to turn what happened to Al into a movie and or TV show and or get this, an effing video game. I told them to F off. Also, in case you hear about this from someone else, a true crime writer named Tammy Booker is working on a book about Al. I hunted down her publisher and told them we'll sue. Don't worry, I've got you covered, your pal Barry. How is everything? Hey Alice, everything good with you back home? Just checking in. Tried to call but couldn't reach you. You're probably just deep in your creative process. I know how you artists get when you're in the middle of such projects. Everything else disappears. If you call back and can't reach me, I'm doing whatever it is an executive producer is supposed to do. Still a mystery to me. Oh, and if you want to help with anything business related to your exhibition, just say the word, your pal Barry. Wow, 2 years he was trying to look after her, if this is reality.
For months after Ellen died, I didn't leave the apartment. I was flattened by the confusion, the shock, the guilt.
For the newcomers, Alan didn't die, but he was trapped under the lake for 13 years, so they thought he was dead.
I could barely get out of bed. Barry Wheeler started visiting. He even cooked me meals. I couldn't stand the guy when I first met him, but he's a better friend than I gave him credit for. And he still checks in. Even after he moved out west.
Part 1, The Depths. Love is weakness. Trigger when viewer close, intimate. Motion activated TVs. Pictures of Scratch.
Alice's work had consumed the apartment. Her whole life.
So she said that Alan, a ghost of Alan, was tormenting her. It was Scratch. Need to show you the truth. The darker, the better. So these are photos. Remember that motion capture camera at the stairwell? It was taking photos of Scratch as he showed up to torment her.
One morning, I saw a deer soar past my bedroom window. It was a balloon of some cartoon animal. And I looked out at the street below, and I saw a little girl crying. Like losing that balloon had just ended her whole world. It was the perfect image of the horror of caring. that's when I got myself out of bed. And I picked up my camera.